I always look a bit funny in the mornings when I do videos. A few days ago, I made a video of footballers that actually bounced back, alright? So whether they flopped or whatever they did, went to a big club and it didn't really work out, but they actually bounced back. Now, today is a bunch of players that didn't bounce back, okay? So it's a bit more a negative, sad story to this, really. I asked you guys in that video to drop a like and thumbs up down below if you wanted to see this one, and you did that exactly, okay? So if you want to see another one like this, drop a like on this one as well. If you want to see that episode, there'll be a link there or link there in the card in the corner, basically, if you want to go over and watch that video. It's pretty good. Straight into this one today. No intros. Well, obviously we've got a bit of an intro here, but you know, speed up a bit. We need to go quicker. So we have the one and only Jack Rodwell. Okay, so he did really well at Everton, come through the ranks there, whatever. He was doing really well there. He got a big money move to Manchester City. In the space of 2 years, he made 16 appearances, scoring 2 goals. He didn't really give him a chance at all. It didn't really work out for him at Man City. Like, it just didn't. I say big money move, but in 2002 it was actually 12 million rising to 15. So if you want to compare it to money these days and stuff, like obviously it seems like nothing. But it was big, you know. Big English talent, you know, going to a big club, obviously in England and stuff. He was already obviously in England, but anyway, after that he went to Sunderland, okay, and it's just, yeah, he's got a lot of game time, but it just hasn't really bounced back, has he, from it? Now, there was something like crazy stat about him, okay, there was some crazy stat, and he hadn't won in like 1,370 games of being a footballer, alright, or something like that, like days of games, sorry, okay, which is insane. He hadn't won in, God knows, like a few years in football. He hadn't won a game of football, so I mean, that is pretty insane. And now you got Sunderland, who could be obviously getting relegated and stuff, so yeah, he hasn't really bounced back from that City move. He's still 25 years of age. He still has a little bit of room there, still a few years to try and, you know, come good yet, and he's only got 3 appearances for England team as well, so hopefully he can get himself back in England squad. That's a big shout, but if he does, then he would have obviously bounced back, wouldn't he? But until then, you're in this episode, Jack. I'm sorry, mate. I am sorry. For the second player, okay, we have got Kaká. Now, this guy obviously was one of the most expensive footballers of all time, still is, or whatever. Now, he moved to Real Madrid from AC Milan, didn't he? Do you remember that? Of course you do. So, I initially wouldn't have put this guy in this video, but, you know, when you look online and stuff, everyone says he was a flop, right? Everyone says he flopped at Real Madrid. I don't really know why, but that's what everyone's saying. So, of course, obviously, he went to Real Madrid for a big money move, like 65 million euros, I think, was the transfer fee at the time, and obviously, that is absolutely huge, and I suppose for being that sort of value and what he produced for Real Madrid, I guess that's why people are calling him a flop. I don't know, I still kind of wouldn't. 85 games, 23 goals, that's not bad for like an attacking midfielder. It's not a bad stat. In 2013, he expressed the desire to leave, of course, and that he did. He went back to AC Milan, I believe. 30 games for them, 7 goals, and then he's in Orlando City, then he went to Sao Paulo and Brazil and stuff, and yeah, he's just not really bounced back since. When he was at AC Milan, obviously one of the best footballers in the world. I'm talking about the first time and stuff, and he went back there, went back to his home. Yeah, and he was there for like a season, you know, didn't really work out, I guess. They didn't really want to keep him or whatever. And he went to America, and he did a little bit of a stint in Brazil as well. Hasn't really bounced back. Bit of a shame for one of the most, you know, expensive players of all time, but unfortunately, you know, that's why cookie crumbles sometimes. Third player is actually an Ultimate Team Legend card, alright? He's an Ultimate Team Legend card, and he goes by the name of Shevchenko. Now, this one, you're probably thinking, Ross, man, I don't really know what you're talking about with this one. Well, this is a famous one. Everyone says it online. Everyone says his time at Chelsea was massive floppery. Floppery, that's a good one. I'm going to use that. So, another one, okay, who did really well at AC Milan, couldn't replicate his form there anywhere else, okay? 226 games for them, 127 goals AC Milan. Incredible stuff. Then he went to Chelsea for 3 years. Big money move to there. 3 years, 48 games, 9 goals. And 9 goals in 3 years for a striker of his, you know, sort of stature, if you like, isn't really good enough. And then he went back to Milan, the same as Kaká, right? Went back to Milan, 18 games for them, no goals, okay? So 18 games as a striker, no goals. And then he went to, obviously, Ukraine and stuff, Dynamo Kiev for a little bit. He did alright at Dynamo Kiev, 55 games, 23 goals, but it just doesn't replicate the form, okay? He just never bounced back since that Chelsea move. We're talking 2006, 30 million pounds, alright? That's the sort of money we're talking. That's like the biggest probably at the time. So unfortunately, one of the best strikers maybe of all time or whatever, didn't bounce back after Chelsea, but you know, what he did at AC Milan the first time was still incredible, so you've got to still like respect him for that, haven't you? Next up is a really weird one, alright, that I really wanted to feature in this episode. It's very strange, okay? This guy went to Man United, wasn't a big player, right? Wasn't a massive player, but it was a massive like prospect talent, if you like. We've got Gabriel Oberton, alright? Gabriel Oberton. Now this guy, okay, was dubbed to be like the next Ronaldo, the next this, the next that when he joined Manchester United, okay? He was at Bordeaux, Le Lorient, and then he went to Man United, okay? Like 2 years there, 14 games, not very good at Man United, is it? Not enough game time. But then after that, he didn't bounce back neither. He played for Newcastle for like 5 years, 58 appearances, that's like 10 a season maybe, which isn't like great. Then he went to Russia, then he's at Wigan now, he's only made 2 appearances for them, so he's 28 years of age. He hasn't bounced back since that big Man United move, has he? He's even played for France in all the youth levels, never for the first team, so I guess he's technically under, you know, nationality rules and stuff. He could play for a different nationality if he wanted to, maybe, unless he's like 1,000,000% French, like all through his family. But that's right, you know, big money move to Man United, signed a 4-year deal there, and obviously didn't really work out, and then it hasn't really worked out anywhere else since. Bit of a shame, to be honest, because he's not a bad player. Like, he's sort of talented. You can see the talent in him, but it's just never materialised to be in anything, is it? Just never done anything. Next up, we've got a footballer actually went to Arsenal, okay? Supposed to be massive talent, all right? Supposed to be absolutely massive talent. Didn't really work out from Arsenal for the amount of years he was there. Jesus, I just realised how many years he was there. Anyway, we got Denilson. This guy was at Sao Paulo for the youth career, then obviously for the first team for a few games as well. Then Arsenal signed him in 2006. They kept him to 2013. Wow. It's like 7 years at Arsenal, 96 games, so still quite a lot of appearances, but over the course of 7 years, probably that's not a lot, is it, to be honest? He went back to Sao Paulo on loan, then Sao Paulo signed him on a permanent, and then he's been to, like, I don't know, is that the Middle East somewhere? Yeah, that is a UAE, Arabian Gulf League he's been at now since Brazil, and then he's gone back to Brazil on loan now. So, I mean, he's just not really bounced back, is he, since Arsenal moved? It didn't really work out for him at Arsenal, and now it's not really worked out for him since. He's been at a couple different Brazilian clubs, including the one he's on loan at now. He's been to the Middle East to play. He's 29 years of age. He's getting a bit old. So, yeah, a bit of a strange one, and he hasn't really bounced back, and he didn't really perform at Arsenal, so he's a bit of a flop, if you like. But, you know, everyone was saying when they first signed him that why have they signed him? He hasn't really got a lot of experience and stuff. He'd only played 13 games at Sao Paulo before Arsenal even signed him, alright? 13 games in the Brazilian league before they signed him. That's pretty crazy. And they forked out like 3.5 million for him, which isn't a lot of money in today's, you know, sort of era, but 2006, you know, it's not bad money back then. We're talking like 11 years ago, so, you know, he would have been like 18 at the time. Anyway, guys, if you have enjoyed this video, drop a like and a thumbs up down below. Make sure you subscribe to me for more football and FIFA videos. I've got lots of stuff coming up as well as an office refurb, alright? So my video is going to change forever. I'm out. Hasn't as always. Take it easy, guys. Peace.